Well, good morning, Trucker Todd here, and time for another video in our series about how to be successful in lease purchase. So far, we've covered kind of an overview where I told you some of the subjects we're going to be touching on, and then we just finished the video on, what your home life needs to be like for optimal results, let's say. Today, we're going to go a little further. We're still kind of building the foundation. Some guys are kind of wanting information a little faster. Todd, just tell us, what's the secret? Quit beating around the bush. Yeah, I know about my home life. Yeah, I know about this and that. Just tell me, how can I make more money? Well, that's coming this week. And some of it's going to start today. Today, I'm going to give you the magic pill. And I'm going to tell you one of the keys to making the most you potentially can in lease purchase. Later this week, I'm going to tell you how one thing I did in lease purchase saved me over $5,000 in the last 60 days. So that's the main reason I put these videos out. I hope these videos help you. I hope you can find something. Hey, if I can add $50 a week to your paycheck, isn't it worth it? And so stay with me. I'm going to make this one kind of brief. I'm getting unloaded right now, so you may see me glance out to see if I've got a green light yet. But hang with me. Here we go.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
All right, and just like that, we're back. As I said right before the intro, I hope these videos are helpful to you. And that's why I ask you to share these videos on your social media platforms. Hopefully, if this particular video doesn't help you, it'll help someone else you know. And by sharing them, by liking them, by subscribing, it raises these videos up in YouTube's algorithm, and more people are able to see them and benefit from them. So I hope you'll do that. Also, in the description below, if you guys are seems like I get tongue-tied every time I do these videos. If you guys are interested in knowing more about coming to work at Dart Transportation, or Dart Transit, I'm sorry, and you've seen my videos, you know I like them, there's an 800 number down there. Call them, tell them you've been watching Trucker Todd. My driver number's down there. Give that to them. That helps me, and I really appreciate it. Also, feel free to leave a comment below. Feel free to email me. My email is down there. And check me out on Instagram. Alrighty, let's jump right into the magic pill. Okay, so you've established that your home life is good. You're ready to start looking for a trucking company. But there's a few more things that you need to be aware. First of all, if you're the type of guy that's getting frustrated because we hadn't got to the part of this that you're wanting, these videos are specifically for you. The foundation is the most important part. Look, no athlete in the world shows up at a game without practice. They just don't. There's a plan in place. 31, I've said this before, and there's 31 teams in the NFL. All 31 of them start the season thinking they're going to win the Super Bowl, go undefeated. They all have a plan, but it doesn't always work. Mike Tyson used to say, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And that's going to be a large part of this for you guys. How quickly can you adapt? How open-minded are you to change? How open-minded are you to constructive criticism? How good are your people skills? How well do you communicate with your dispatcher or your point of contact at your company? Those are all going to play a factor. How often do you want to go home? What's your definition of home time? You know, one of the toughest questions I get asked, and I get asked it at least a couple times a week, how much money can I make? And I always ask them, how hard can you work? Look, we all have 70 hours a week by DOT regulations that we can work. How well you manage your time and plan is going to be substantial in how well you do. If I've told this story in a couple other videos. I recruited a guy at the previous company I worked for that the first 5 weeks he was with the company, he spent 4 weeks at home. Then he called me, "Hey, Trucker Todd, I'm not making the kind of money you said I'd make." I said, "When are you going to start working? You're not working like I work either." And so that's something you got to think about. What are you willing to do? How hard are you willing to work? Is your family prepared for that commitment? Now, the other thing, once you start seeing some success, you can't get comfortable and relax. You've got to keep working. Look, in the beginning, you're probably going to have to stay out 3 to 6 weeks at a time to make any money. Is it going to be that way forever? No. Do I stay out that long now? No, not usually. But in the beginning, you're going to have escrows that you got to pay. The company's going to charge you different things that you've got to pay depending on where you work, what your application is. What I mean by that, what type of work you're doing. And so you've got to be constantly looking for ways to improve, ways to get better. None of us have ever arrived. I'm still looking for ways I can get better. Hey, look, a gold medalist still looks for a way they can shave 1/10 of a second off of their times, how they can get just a hair better. And you've got to do the same. Trucking is constantly evolving. It's constantly changing. And you've got to be a part of the change when it happens. You've got to communicate. If you're not happy with what you're doing, we talked about in the previous video about finances. You need to be communicating with your dispatcher. Hey, I have a goal. I need to make this amount of money a week. How can we get there? Hey, I'm looking over my numbers for last month. I did a little less than what I thought I was going to do. Do you see any problems or things that maybe I missed or I didn't do as well as I could have? They've got all kinds of reports they can run. And here at DART, we've got lots of reports we can run. I can see what percentage of my money goes to fuel, what percentage goes to advances, if any, and things like that. So the real thing in this video, the thing I'm trying to get across is the secret, the magic pill is you. The better you get, the more honed you get, the more experience you get, the better you're going to be. And as far as home time, let's talk about home time for a second. We all need to go home. I would say that's the most important thing you do as a truck driver. Spend time with your family. That's what makes it worth it. Okay, but what is home time? Does it mean out of 5 weeks you're only working a week? Or does it mean working with your dispatcher, depending on where you live, getting loads that pass by the house, maybe taking your 10-hour break or your 34-hour break at home while you're under a load? When I lived in East Texas and worked for DART before, I did that with my dispatcher all the time. He got me loads out to the east and then shot me down to Dallas, and it passed me right by the house in East Texas. So I was home all the time. But on their computer, it showed I was never home. And occasionally, every 3 or 4 months, or 2 or 3 months or something, I'd take 4 or 5 days off. And that's what you've got to do. You got to be smart about this. A lot of guys think, now that I'm an owner-operator, I don't have to work as hard. When in reality, you probably have to work harder. And a lot of them think, well, I want to show off my truck. So they park it in their driveway, and they polish the chrome, and they show their neighbors, and they don't do the work that it takes to make the income they want to make. The recruiter tells them, oh, you can make this amount of money. But he doesn't tell them the amount of work you got to do to get that kind of money. I remember a while back, and it's been a long time ago, probably 20 years ago, I seen a guy I went to high school with, and at the time I had a dedicated run, getting paid a salary, and he said, hey, Todd, how much are you making? I said, I don't want to tell you because it's going to sound like I'm bragging. No, tell me. I said, well, I'm making, I don't remember what it was back then, late 90s. I think it was $8.58 a week or something salary. and I worked 6 days on, 2 days off, and home every day. And he said, wow, I want to do that. And I'm like, he's like, how long did you go to school? I said, 2 weeks. He's like, I want to do that. And I'm like, you don't understand. I didn't just roll out of truck driving school and get this job. I came out here, I proved myself, I got the experience, and now I'm getting the benefits of it. And it's the same thing for you. The longer you do this, the better you're going to get at it, and the more you're going to make. But if you think that you're going to be able to just roll out here and make $1,800, $2,000 a week, and that there's not going to be a learning curve, there's not going to be good and bad weeks. Look, I don't care if you get a brand new truck. I said this in the last video. They're going to break down at some point. You've got to have money set aside for that. I had a guy tell me one time, well, if the first time I'm in the hole, I quit. I said, well, don't even start, because I will guarantee you're going to be in the hole. At some point, you're signing a lease for 2 to 5 to 6, some of them are 7-year leases. So say 2 to 7 year lease. And if at no point in that time you don't think you're ever going to break down, take a week off, nothing. If you think you're never ever going to be in the hole, you're clueless. You don't need to do this. You need to be a company driver. And a lot of you that think you're going to do a lease, you really need to question why you want to do it. Are you not better off as a company driver? In some cases, yes. And in the next video, we're going to talk about how to pick a company. And then we're going to talk about equipment in the following video on Friday. So I encourage y'all to join me. I got to wrap this up. I think they're close to getting me done unloaded. We'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.